Friends, Romans, and Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on them tinfoil hats, baby, because it's back on YouTube and it's the Gay Frog Chat. Coming at you live from Denver, Colorado. This is E-Honda 420, and I don't know why I just said that. It just sounded good in my mind. Anyway, we're here tonight to talk about a couple of things and whatever the fuck else you guys want to talk about. But basically, the only thing that I really wanted to talk about is why the Richat structure is not Atlantis. Here, I gotta find this shit. I was on Google Earth earlier, looking at a bunch of stuff. Richat structure. Where is it? Where are you? Here you are. This fucking thing was a volcano that got hit by an asteroid or something. Like, I don't know what it was, but dudes did not make this thing. This is not man-made. This was made by God, and God's design will destroy it in the end. And that is the only thing. And look, here's even like a little miniature one right here, right next to it, where there was either another asteroid or volcano or asteroid cano that came through and destroyed everything. And then if you also look here, look at this like weird fucking, looks like everything got swept over from water too here, right? Like it did everywhere else, right? Like, look at all the ripples of sand and stuff, and this isn't caused by fucking, these are big ass rocks and shit. That's not fucking from wind. But anyway, how you guys doing tonight? Ohio, Duke, Leo.
Not bad. Doing
Boys.
well.
Yeah. Oh, I've been better. I got to get the sleep study done here in the next month or so.
God damn it, Eeyore. What now?
I had to go to the rheumatologist this week, and he's like, "Oh, you may have sleep apnea because you got a big ass fucking neck."
Do you have sleep apnea, Duke? Didn't you
Yeah.
tested
Horrible.
for that shit?
Horrible sleep apnea. We gotta wear a CPAP.
I was like thinking about getting tested for it too, to be honest.
You should get tested for it. It puts a lot of strain on your heart. Everyone has it. It'll keep you alive longer, and you should get tested. You may just need a mouthpiece. You may just need to sit a certain way, but for people like me, you need to wear a CPAP.
Bro, I know, like, if I sleep on my side, it's not too bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I crashed my son's scooter the other day because there was some slippery bum poop on the fucking sidewalk, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it hurt my shoulder, so, like, I couldn't sleep on my shoulder for, like, a week, right? Like, I can now. It's fine now. But for a week there, I couldn't fucking sleep on my goddamn shoulder. And so I was sleeping on my back, and I'm just like making all these fucking noises when I wake up. My throat's all dry. I'm like hacking up boogers from my throat. It's gross, dude.
Yeah, you should get tested. You're at an age too, so I would get tested.
I've been working out hard though, like trying to lose some fucking some tack rice over here.
Well, I get it.
But slow going when you're 42 almost. Fucking doesn't work like it did 10 years ago when I was like 34 or whatever it was last time I tried to get in shape, and you know, my body doesn't want to comply. Things keep getting hurt and hurting. The joys of getting old. That's how you know you're getting old. Like, you go to sleep and you wake up and your back hurts. You know,
Shit, when I wake up, I'm still tired. Like, damn, I just did a 12 hours sleep. I'm still tired.
dude, that means you're behind on sleep. Because if you're caught up on sleep and you get a good night's sleep, you should wake up feeling rested. And I didn't know this until COVID, until like everyone got laid off and we had nothing better to do but like hop on chats and play video games and sleep all day, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I got a lot of sleep. And after like, I don't know, it took about a month, honestly, dude. It took like 3 or 4 weeks of getting like a ton of sleep all the time before I started waking up and not feeling groggy. But unfortunately, we are back to work for the past like 2 years now. Jesus Christ. So I'm back to groggy again all the time. You know how we do.
Yeah.
Daniel says, Daniel dropped in 5. Thanks, man. Says, no way a early advanced civilization came from Africa. I'm with Hamler on this one.
First super chat, racism.
Well, I mean, there is, you know, like an advanced civilization that came from Africa right around this area. It's called Egypt. You guys ever heard of Egypt?
Sounds semi-familiar.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but apparently there was some people who did some things.
I think the Egyptians were way more advanced than we understand and comprehend. I think they had material and technology that we don't fully understand.
I mean, there was Nubia and Kemet, you know. Well, Kemet was all of Africa. But...
Well,
Cradle of Civilization.
For one thing, the Great Pyramid, there is no record of it being built. There is no inscriptions of anyone claiming that they built it, except for one dude, I think it was Khufu or whatever, fucking like wrote his name on like a wall somewhere. Like, yeah, Khufu was here. Like, motherfucker, you didn't build that. And the technology that went into the Great Pyramid is a greater level of technology, higher technology, bigger stones, more precise construction than pyramids that came after it. So there is a theory, and I happen to agree with, that there was a pre-dynastic, I think is what the word is, civilization, a pre-flood, like, I don't know what you want to call it. Ice Age civilization. There we go. There was an Ice Age civilization that had little satellite areas that they had colonies and stuff, and they were centered around an area in the Atlantic, right where these three giant plate tectonics come together, right? You've got the North American plate, you got the African plate, and then you've got the whatever the fucking Atlantic plate that all come together, and they're ripping apart. This is a mountain range underwater that's ripping apart, right? And up here, where these islands are, there's a thought that when North America, basically Canada and Northern Europe, was covered in 2 kilometers of ice, like 1.5 miles of ice, something like that, that all melted and then flowed into the sea. This part right here flexed up when the ice was on there because the ice was pushing everything down in the earth. It's called isostatic depression, which makes something else on the planet get pushed out. So the theory is that this spot right here was pushed out and was like 1,000 feet higher in elevation than it is today, on top of the fact that the ocean levels were 400 feet lower than they are today. So you put those two things in combination, and you basically have an island semi-continent in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that is now submerged underwater. And it makes perfect sense. There's science to back this up. There's studies that have come out that say exactly what I just said. And, like, I think it's a resurgence of this whole story from Plato that 11,500 years ago, there was a civilization, a maritime civilization that was thriving during the Ice Age that got swept underneath the sea, and little satellites like a pyramid in Egypt and like fucking pyramids over in like middle, like Central America and shit that they can't explain too. Like, there's things that they can't explain, right? Like buildings that are around. There's one in Indonesia somewhere. It's like this crazy fucking temple that no one knows when it was made, that no one knows who made it, that has no inscriptions on it that say anything about who made it, right? And it's just there. And like things like that are there. And you got Göbekli Tepe, and then not to mention the fact that how much land mass is now underwater that was above water. Not even considering if in fact Atlantis was real, and if in fact Atlantis was right here, and this whole thing, just take that out of the equation. You can see the old coastline. You can see the old coastline of where everything was, right? How big Florida would be, how big Texas would be fucking sticking out. Like the Yucatan Peninsula. Basically, the Gulf of Mexico didn't even exist. It was a inland sea surrounded by land, Like maybe a little channel that led to the ocean to the ocean. So yeah, I mean, like, the world was a completely different place. And I think it's an interesting thought exercise to, first of all, acknowledge that fact, and then think about the amount of change that would have to happen in a short amount of time to make the world from what it was, into what it is. And I think it's just fun to think about.
I think it's a lot of fun to think about because I think it questions the narrative we've been told, and if anything is more reasonable now is to question things we've been told, and why would they want to hide this, and what would be the benefit? And I have a hard time not questioning things. I just found out a bunch of that nuke footage from the 50s is all fake. All that footage from the 1950s of the nukes going off, that's all fake. Did you see that?
No.
No.
Yeah, like the like what you would think of as historical nuke footage of the houses being destroyed and what a nuke would look like in a like a neighborhood. That's all fake. None of that's real. That was produced to scare the Soviets to think we had things we didn't have.
Dude, there's a bunch of stuff with the moon landing that's the exact same thing. Like, I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon, but there's
all the footage is
astronauts
fake.
who say we didn't go to the moon. And there's, like, pictures that we have from back then of, like, here's the dudes doing the moonwalk. And then you see, like, a rock on the ground that's labeled, like, M3 or something. Like, it's totally a fucking, like, prop.
Yes.
You know?
And even because the footage wasn't that great, so what they did have back then, they kind of used a lot of training footage when they shouldn't have, but it was just to kind of get things together. And that's like proven. But this is kind of the same scenario, which is difficult to sometimes fathom.
I think, here's what I think. It's hard to get everybody upset and scared about climate change from a little bit of carbon dioxide from a few cows. If there's giant, huge rocks zooming by our planet, that if one that's big enough hits us directly, we're going to have a really, really bad time for years. If not, like, that's it for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's an actual direct, real threat that's happened on this planet to multiple species, multiple times. How many extinction events have happened on this planet? Like five? Like five
Right.
major extinction. Not even like the little ones where like a couple of fucking big creatures die off. Because like it's always the big ones that die off first, right? It's like the big ass elephants that need a fucking ton of food, and then the sun doesn't make enough food for them, and they all starve, right? But the little rats are fine, right? The little rats will make it no matter what. So there's been like tons of fucking little miniature extinction events where 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or even like 20 or 50 fucking species go extinct, and it's not even notable, right? Like whatever caused those extinction events is literally not even notable compared to like the KT boundary or the Younger Dryas event, like the black mat layer that killed off 60% of all species on the planet, all megafauna species, like anything over 100 pounds, 60% dead, gone. 60%, 100% of those 60% dead. Not 60% of animals, 60% of species.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Nebraska, right? Like, can you see these? What does that look like? Water ripples, right?
Yeah.
Just fields and fields of water ripples and sand, and that's caused by a bunch of water flowing over this huge ass area and slowing down a little bit and dropping sand and making ripples.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that. Across half of Nebraska is just sand hills. How much water would it take to flood half of Nebraska with these fucking mounds that are, oh, I guess you can't do the measured distance. These are like 60, 80 feet across from here to here. It's like 80 feet, 100 feet. That's ridiculous, dude. Look, there's like little lakes in between them. They're so fucking big. But yeah, the sandhills, man. I mean, and everywhere you look, there's these features. I mean, you're looking like Utah. First of all, the Great Sand Lake, you see all this saltiness here? That's the fucking outline of Lake Missoula, I think no, not Missoula. It was Lake Bonneville. Lake Bonneville is what it was called. And this shit was like 6,000 feet deep in some places, 4,000 feet deep in others, at least 1,000 feet deep. And then it fucking spilled over and bleh. Like, look at this shit, dude. Caused all of that. All of these cataracts and all of these fucking like giant fucking canyons and stuff got carved out. Most of them within a very short period of time. and it's hard to imagine what the planet even looked like before, you know? Because basically, like, they took a bunch of water and spread it out over everywhere, and then the water picked up a bunch of dirt from one spot and dumped it in another spot everywhere. And then also, here's the other thing that's kind of interesting that I've been learning about. So you've got the Azores, right, which is where they think Atlantis was, or at least that's what the theory is. But then over here, you've got these little islands, right, which all have signs of being hit by giant-ass fucking tidal waves from something about 12,000 years ago causing giant tidal waves. So do you think, like, where did a lot of this water come from? Well, yeah, some of it came from, well, most of it came from, I think, the glaciers that were over North America and Northern Europe. But I think a lot of it also came from the ocean, from fucking just being sloshed around, and now you've got, like, 1,000-foot walls of water, like, sloshing across fucking, you know, North Africa or wherever it happens. And who knows, bro, because we weren't there, and I don't have all the answers. I just think it's interesting. Daniel dropped in 10, says, best proof is NASA's JPL has repeatedly said over the past few years, the reason we haven't been back to the moon is because we lost the technology to leave the Van Allen radiation belt. Smells like BS.
Yeah, that's exactly what I believe.
Well, that is a huge problem, is what to do when you are crossing the Van Allen belt, because it'll do two things. It'll fry your electronics, right? And it will fry your DNA with it'll kill you if you stay in there long enough, if it happens to be like a higher radiation spike at that point or whatever. But didn't they have like little like lead pods or whatever that they could crawl into? Wasn't that the
Yes.
idea? Again, I don't know. I'm not sure. But it seems like if JPL can't do it now, then they couldn't do it then.
I just don't believe. I don't know. There's a lot to go into that. It's hard for me to go with that fully. That we made it to the moon.
Well, I mean, obviously we can get technology out of orbit. We can send probes into space, into deeper space and stuff like that, like Cassini and all these other things, Voyager that we sent out into the void. So we have the technology to make the circuits go through the Van Allen belt. It's the people that we got to worry about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would seem like the lead pod thing would be the, simplest solution. Then again,
I don't know. Every time I look at the technology that supposedly went to the moon and back, just baffles me. Looks like some high school project shit that you did Sunday night before Monday morning when it was due. That shit looks real unstable, that it went to the fucking moon and then shot back from the moon and came back and brought somebody in it. Just that alone. So I don't know. Could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong, but if the past couple of years has taught me anything, it's to question everything, especially the narrative. And we've benefited greatly by beating the communists to the moon. So
yeah, we had every reason to lie, if that's what you
mean.
Yeah.
And if our government needs a reason, they'll find it. So I don't know.
And they'll do whatever they need to do. They've proven that time and time and time again, that when it comes to the federal government of the United States of America, there is no bill that's too big, and there's no law that applies to them.
Right. So, and if they need to, do whatever they need to do to get the mission done, they've done it. If they did it 10 years ago, they did it 20 years ago. They did it 20 years ago, they've done it 50 years ago. So nothing changes that. And if it's the U.S. government, then it's all governments. And it's all people, because we're all like that. And the real kicker is that we just think we're different when we're not. If you were in power, you would be...
Right. Well, because it's a result of game theory. Exactly. It's like, well, if my opponent's going to play a game in this way and I don't do the same thing, then I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to play the game, I'm going to play the game to win. which means I'm going to start bioengineering viruses and false flagging people.
Yeah. Because you have to win. And to protect people because people are stupid or like, well, however you justify it, like it's just going to happen. And to think that you're any different or I'm any different is the real falsehood.
I don't know. I think we're the people who would have stood up against the Nazis in World War II, Germany. We would have been the people who got like thrown in jail with everybody else, with the Jews and stuff. Because we're the people right now who are speaking out against the government. We're the people right now who are not going along with the program. We're the people right now who don't believe what the government's saying to us because we've learned better. Because it's the boy who cried wolf too many times, and now you're telling me there's a wolf again? I don't fucking believe you. And if you get eaten by a wolf, as far as I'm concerned, that's your fucking fault.
Right.
Because you lied too many times. Like if you tell me the truth, then I can like help you in some way or understand what the threat is or do something different, right? But if you lie to me to get me to do what you want, now I'm not on your side anymore, dude. Now I'm just not on your fucking side. Because you could have told me the truth, and if it made sense and it was like good for my children, I would have been down with it. I would have been okay with it. I would have helped out. I would have done what I could. I would have been on board. And I would have believed you because there was no reason not to. But when you continually lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and then say, well, why aren't you believe me? It's like that's what an abusive girlfriend does. Like seriously, we're in an abusive relationship with the federal government. How many people got abused on January 6th?
That dude just got out and did a podcast. The dude with the headdress, with the like the bison headdress or something like that. That dude was held in solitary confinement for like 9 months.
Yeah, did you see the video of what he did or whatever?
What did he do?
He got escorted around the Capitol by 2 Capitol police officers standing side by side with him, walking through different doors, checking to see if this would open, checking to see if that would open. They followed him into the House chambers or whatever it was, where he took the podium from one place, took it to another so that people could take pictures of it, and then like put it back and then left. That was it. He didn't smash anything. He didn't hurt anybody. It was a photo op.
Yeah. 9 months of solitary confinement. That's
And you're gonna tell me that's justice when there's fucking child molesters that get like 3 months and a slap on the fucking wrist?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if there was justice in this country, the child molester would get strung up by his balls or put to death. Like that's your choice. You either have no more balls in the most painful way possible, or you get a bullet in your fucking head. That would be justice. And moreover, it would be justice if the father of the kids that got abused by this fuck got to put the bullet in his head or painfully castrate the motherfucker. That would be actual justice. But we don't have justice in this country. And the thing is, when the people lose faith in the justice system, we don't have a country. Because people are going to start taking laws and consequences and justice into their own hands because they know that the government won't do it for them. Because they know that if they leave it to the government is going to let them down and that justice will specifically not be served.
But then when you try to take the law into your own hands, the government comes down on you, except for the criminal that you're trying to stop.
I'm trying to think of that quote. When like good men go free, or when bad men go free and good men rot in prison.
There's also the false assumption that all child molesters are guys. There's quite a few women that are being busted these days too.
When freedom fails, the best of men... Hold on, where is it? The best of men rot in filthy jails, and those who cry appease, appease are hung by those they tried to please. So all the leftists who were like, reparations, white supremacy, misogyny, blah, 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 communism, right? Whatever it is they're fucking trying to get through. The ones who say appease, appease are hung by men they tried to please.
And the government and the corporations are in it together too. Because you can't even call the police. If you're an employee and you call the police on somebody robbing your store, you get fired for it.
A couple of years back, I slapped a sandwich out of a dude's hand and stepped on it. I bet I'd get fired if I did that now.
Wait, what happened?
There was a black dude at the bar. He was wearing a suit and a tie, and he had a fucking suitcase with him, right? And he sits down and he's like, calls me over. I'm like, can I get you something to drink? He doesn't know. I'm like, okay, I go and help someone out. Come back to him. Can I get you something to drink? He doesn't know. Go and help someone else out. Come back to him. This happens like 4 times, right? Finally, this fucking cocksucker orders a water and a fucking Philly cheesesteak sandwich, right?
Okay.
So I get him his water. I get his Philly cheesesteak going. A couple of minutes later, the first person's food comes out. And he calls me over. He's like, what the fuck? Fucking racist piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? He's like, I sat down before that bitch. And I was like, yeah, and you didn't know what you wanted, did you? And she did. So she ordered before you. It's not about racism. It's about the fact that you didn't know what you wanted. And I walked away, right? A couple minutes goes by, whatever it is. Sandwich comes out. Slam it in front of him. Here you go. You good? Fine. You know, I'm just pissed at this guy at this point. Like, fuck you, cocksucker. Go around to the other side of the bar, and I'm cleaning some dishes. About 2 minutes, like 120 seconds later, right? Go to the bar where he was, and he wasn't there anymore. Sandwich gone. Suitcase gone. Suit gone. Right? I look around, there's like a billiards area. He's not in the billiards area. I look around by the pool, by the shuffleboard table. Not by the shuffleboard table. I run to the front door. I see this motherfucker in his tan suit eating a sandwich, carrying his fucking briefcase, walking across the parking lot. So I run over there. I'm like, hey, man, you need to get back inside and pay for your sandwich. He's like, what the fuck are you doing out here? You're not supposed to follow me out here. What the fuck, fuck. Right? So I'm like, get your fucking ass back in the goddamn restaurant right the fuck now and pay for your fucking sandwich, you piece of shit. And he takes a swing at me. He swung at me. So I dodged the swing, and in the same motion, slapped the fucking sandwich out of his hand. Right? Onto the pavement, onto the concrete, outside, on the ground, hot sun. And he's like, that was my sandwich. I was eating that. It was like, that was your sandwich? It's like, yeah, that was my sandwich. And I step on this shit and grind it into the pavement. Just like, oh, it felt so fucking good, bro. And then he took another swing at me, and I dodged it again, and was like, oh, fuck, I better get inside. So I ran inside. Told my managers what happened. They were not happy. But I also didn't get fired for it. And it also wasn't on Twitter. And it also wasn't on the nightly news. And there's no fucking, like, you know, race riots because a waiter slapped a sandwich out of a black man's hand who didn't pay for it.
Yeah,
So,
if you would have did that now, someone had a cell phone out.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Jesus. Jesus. I don't know. We might get a lot more subs. So, you know.
Yeah, is that the reparation? Just Subway sandwiches? You get Philly cheesesteaks and the subs?
I would love a Philly cheesesteak as a nice, good Philly cheesesteak.
I like a good Philly. Good Philly's a good thing. It's got to have, like, the right kind of cheese on it, though.
Yeah.
Because people do the cheese whiz thing, and I'm not down with that.
I never had the one with the cheese whiz.
Well, that's like
I want to try it, yeah.
But I like just cheese, you know, just like throw some cheddar on it.
I don't like cheese whiz, period, though. This shit
no sandwich for you.
Hey, you should click on that little video I put in the private chat. I know it's from the TikTok, but it's something I thought you'd find interesting. I saw this like 5 days ago and thought of you. It shows an extra continent. It's like from a TV show, and they spin a globe. Oh, and like, look, there's an extra continent. Like, what's up with that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is that from?
I don't know.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Is that just a rip maybe in the fucking globe?
No, man. Like, look at it. That's not a rip. That's an extra island, dog.
It could be a rip.
Definitely not a rip. Because look at that. You would have seen that the globe was like not all shiny over there.
All right, let's go back to Google Earth. Let's try to find your fucking your continent.
So what is it, next to Australia?
Yeah, it's second Australia.
Whoa, what
See?
is this?
Dog, I'm telling you, look at that.
Oh,
That's
it's
second
coming.
Australia. Yo, I met this girl one time who thought Austria and Australia was the same thing. I never looked at her the same again. Ever. And she was maybe my Sunday school teacher. And I'm
when
gonna
I
be
was
honest
a
with
little
you.
kid, I thought the Oakland A's were from Oklahoma because Oakland was short for Oklahoma.
That makes sense. You were a child. This woman was like 18 plus. I allow my son to say
Wait.
wild things because he's a child and he doesn't understand. So, you know.
Oh, for the longest time, I was like, when people talk about Dutch, I was like, where the fuck is Dutch at? It's like,
funny.
where's Dutchland?
Deutschland.
Where's Dutchland at?
Well, they speak Dutch. Where's Dutch?
Yeah, what the fuck is Dutch at?
That's not that bad, dude. That's really not that bad. That's like reasonable. Like that's semi-reasonable. It's funny, and I get it, but like that's somewhat reasonable.
When I was a kid, I also thought that Alzheimer's was called old timers.
Me too.
Okay, I'm a little bit stupid because I may have found that out like 2 weeks ago. So, and I will be real honest. That may have been something that my dumbass found out about like 2 weeks ago. My wife was like, "How are you saying that?" And it was one of those things where I was like, "Oh, I'm doing something wrong," and so I tried to say it fast. She's like, "Slow it down, and say it. Say how you were saying it." And she's like, "Hey, dumbass." Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Growing up in a Baptist church, I thought Martin Luther King was Jesus. Because in a black church, that's all you see like pictures of. And like on the fans that they use for the summer to fan themselves, is always a picture of Martin Luther King on it.
Okay, that's something I gotta ask. Do the black churches can't afford fucking AC? Is that what's going on?
No, that's all church thing. Because we got fans too. It's just
we have fans in there.
It's all poor churches, or
You
all
just sit
like
there like-
old school churches. Or it for us, it came at like the revival time, like in the tents, or in like the summer revival things. Because I always wanted to get one, but then you had to be real special. You couldn't just they weren't just handing them out to the kids, because the kids would be throwing them at each other like in Ninja Stars.
Right.
And we already like throwing like the little pencils and the tithe offering things. We'd always be throwing, making paper airplanes, and the deacons would yell at us. And I'm already, so I was real bad sometimes.
You want to see a picture of my grandpa from World War II?
Definitely want to see that. Yo, your live sign is covering it up, so you should go like you're the only picture. You should be the.
Bigger.
That's super
Go
cool.
Bigger.
He's an MP. That's super good looking. Oh
Yeah.
man, you gotta like post that so we can see that. He's got like a smirk on his face. He's got the
Yeah,
gangster.
dude, my grandpa's funny as fuck.
Yeah, and look,
I
he's
remember
got
being really grumpy all the time, but I guess he was funny when he was younger.
and his Kevlar or his helmet is like cocked to the side, which is like all World War II guys did that because they were from World War II and you could do cool stuff like that. That looks so cool, man.
Here's the before. You want to see the after?
Yeah, definitely. Yo, that is super funny. Oh man, I love that. You got to do like side by side of those. Oh, that's so cool. Oh yeah,
Yep.
you definitely got to do side by side. Like, that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. You should be proud of that. Was he a good dude to you?
I mean, he was, by the time, he was like 94 when he died.
Okay.
And I think he was like 80 years old when I was born. You know what I mean? Like he was already
Damn.
so fucking old when I was born.
Well, that's rough. Okay.
And like he had, he was retired, but he had like leg problems and couldn't walk very well and was kind of in pain all the time, was just kind of grumpy all the time, sat in his chair and he'd bark orders at you for what to do and stuff. And I mean, he wasn't like mean, but he wasn't like yay, let's go see Grandpa.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, not everybody's gonna be like super happy all the way through.
I remember being freaked out at my great grandpa because he had a bunch of tattoos on his arms, but he was like 100 years old, so his arms just looked black. like I mean, they looked like diseased. I didn't get it as a kid. I was like, "What's wrong with your arms, great grandpa? Cookie?" And because that's what we called him, because he had cookies, because you're a kid. And my mom would explain to me like it was tattoos that he's just 100 years old. So,
dude, you see these people these days with like, they have so many tattoos when they're like 25 that their whole arm just looks black.
Yeah,
it's like, God, what the fuck, bro?
I get it. There's a lot of people that get a lot of tattoos, and it's a thing. It's just not my thing. So I get people who do it, and I was like the only dude I knew in the Marines who never got a tattoo. I never was into that, and I was just not my thing, man. I get it, but
I have one. I wish I didn't.
Yeah. Well, my wife's got a bunch of tattoos, and I'm cool with that.
Is it a lower back tattoo?
I ain't gonna talk about Mrs. Duke like that.
No, I'm talking about Honda. I'm talking about your wife.
Yep, I got one tattoo.
What are you thinking, me, Duke?
I'll just say it. I don't know.
Jesus. Hey, Duke, is your wife hot? Does she have big titties, ass fat? Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus. Okay, so back to Atlantis. There's several things that Plato had said about Atlantis that make it so that it has to be here. And if it's not here, then it's not Atlantis, as far as I'm concerned. He says, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is the Straits of Gibraltar, out in the Atlantic Ocean, it's an island nation, right? That had like so many square feet, can't prove that, so we don't know. That there were quarries that had white rock, black rock, and gray rock. And on these islands, you can find, on the Azores, you can find all three of those types of rock on 3 different islands. There's a story about a stream coming out of the ground with cold water and a stream coming out of the ground with hot water, like a hot spring and a cold spring. There's islands in this group that have hot and cold springs coming out of them. What else? There was something else. I forget what. But you know where there's not any fucking springs coming out of? The Richat structure. Like that shit was created by God. Again, can't find it now. I don't know where it is. You guys know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. Shit was created by God. Okay, here's another thing that's pretty cool that I was looking at. You can see where rivers come through, right? And like the mouth of the river comes through and meets the ocean. And then there's a canyon underwater. Why is there a canyon underwater? Oh, that's because that didn't used to be underwater. That canyon was above water that was carved by the water that went through that ended in the ocean back then. Isn't that crazy? So you can see where the river ends, right?
Yeah.
And then goes out into the ocean. But wait, there's still a path where a river was. And you can follow it miles and miles and miles and miles out to sea. And it's like that all over the place. There's tons of examples of that. And most of them you can see like here.
Yeah.
This big fucking gap. Well, that's because of all the sediment that fucking got deposited there.
Right.
Like, it's not that there's not a canyon right here in this gap. It's that canyon got buried by sediment over the past 12,000 years. But again, that canyon goes miles and miles and miles out to sea. And again, you wouldn't see these structures unless they were above water. They don't. Structures like this don't exist unless they're above water at some point. Anyway. Dana dropped in $2 and said, have you seen TV show Silo? If so, what do you think of it? I don't know what that is. Silo?
It's very slow. I watched the first episode. Basically, it's about a bunch of people that were born in a giant silo thing, and their entire human race existence is essentially like erased off until they're in that place. So they have no actual historical facts going on, and everything that is historical is called relics, and they basically destroy them. So
it's like that documentary about that family who thought the nuke went off, and so they went into their bunker and stayed down there for 30 years and then came out. Right, Duke?
I hear you. It got me so much more than it should have. I was like, damn, that's some crazy shit. And then I was like, you motherfucker. Yeah.
See, it was starting to get me too, but I'm like, dude, there's no way that's fucking real. And I said that out loud, and I wish I hadn't. Because you were...
I was going way, way too hard on it. I was like, oh, meat spin for gas masks? I'm on my way.
I'm just like, bro, like, we would have heard about this shit. Like, there'd be interviews with the kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, like, it just, I was like, Matt's good at that sometimes. He'll get you, like, just come random in. And his voice and his inflection won't change. I don't know. He's a good deceptor. He's a Decepticon. But,
Autobots. Daniel says, is it a coincidence that Atlantis had black rock? Well, it also had white rock. Calhoun says, you're never going to read my chat. Shit. Because you said read my last chat. Damn it. I'm sorry. I suck. Calhoun says, they put mirrors on the moon to shoot lasers at. You can see the lander sites from orbit. I'm going to say... I know you're going to say CGI, but we definitely went to the moon.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I guess, you know,
I land somewhere in the middle. I think that we probably did go to the moon. I think that we do have the technology to go back. They just don't want to fund it for whatever reason. I think we did put those mirrors on there, and I think that you can see the lander from Earth, right? But I also think that a lot of the stuff that we came out with was propaganda at the time to fool the Russians into thinking that we had technology that we didn't. So they spent money like crazy to try to catch up with us, even though we weren't as far ahead of them as we were making it seem like we were. So
right, and like you cannot tell me that all those astronaut videos that we keep seeing were those like where they're definitely being suspended by lines and it's definitely CGI behind them, like, and their hair is like completely goofy. You can't tell me that's all real because it ain't real, man.
No, I agree.
Those videos, and I get like we may be up there, but like those videos aren't real.
Yeah, and I think provably there is evidence that shows that there were definitely propaganda films that were shot that were like touted as training films or something like that to the people doing it at the time or whatever it was, that they were like, well, you know, if we just like change the contrast here a little bit and cut out that beginning and that end part and just like do this little middle section, it almost looks like it's real. Let's send it to the Russians. You know they were doing that shit. Data says, I think a certain mean mustache took his bell to the moon. The Nazi UFO bell. Have you seen that, Duke? You know what that is?
Say again? I'm trying to follow you. What?
Nazi UFOs.
Oh, don't even get me started on the Nazi UFOs, homie. The bell?
Like,
you want to talk about the bell?
Thing.
Dude, there's a whole theory that old boys they haven't even lost, man. They just up out. They just went back and did something else. I don't know. There's that whole thing that came out where the FBI has documents that they knew Hitler was in South America.
Yep.
And that he definitely, and first of all, he didn't die in Berlin. The pieces of the skull that like we supposedly had, that's not even him, it's some woman. and it's not even Ava Brown. It's some like 43-year-old woman. It's some like weird dude. So to believe that they had other technology that allowed them to peace out or whatever is totally plausible. And they had a bunch of crazy technology even at the time. They had jets and stuff that they were working on, much less something else. And Eisenhower met with some aliens. That's like 100% happened. So if the big shebang kicked off in the 50s, it means stuff was going on in the 30s and 40s, man. So
Well, I mean, there's the Foo Fighters. You know what the Foo Fighters are? Not the
Yeah.
band.
yeah, what was that again?
That was World War II pilots that would have UFO sightings of
Yeah.
these strange lights in the sky that would follow them and like do maneuvers that they couldn't explain at right angles and speeds that their craft couldn't even try to match.
Yes.
And they named them Foo Fighters.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were.
Right. And then at
Oh.
some point, I think upper brass got a hold of this and was like, yo, we keep getting reports about Foo Fighters. We thought these dudes were just like shell-shocked or something, but there's been so many reports of it that we're going to look into it. And they started looking into it, and they're like, oh, shit, this might be a real thing. Let's try to capture one. Let's try to shoot one down. And then you have Roswell, New Mexico that happened. Like,
Yeah.
how did the military get on the site of the crash so fast? Right?
They shot him down.
I think so. I think that's what it was. Like, why did it crash? I don't know. Like, maybe it was some malfunction on the craft or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like just observing some shit, and then like we were like, gotcha, bitch, and fucking
Yep.
like shot him real quick, and then they crashed, and we came and like captured everything.
Yep.
I mean, like the people who've been interviewed who saw the crash site originally were like, yeah, that's not a fucking weather balloon, you know.
Well, there was newspaper articles that came out that definitely said it wasn't a weather balloon. And then the next day they were like, oh yeah, don't worry, y'all. That big old alien spacecraft, oh, that was just a weather balloon. No big deal. And they had already run it in the papers. I'm just telling you, there's so much coming out. And the thing that worries me is why are they keeping it a secret? Okay, that kind of freaked me out. We don't need no extra voices. I'm just telling you that why would they have to keep it a secret? Is it because it's really that scary? Is it because they're giving them people? Is that really what happens?
Well, I think it had
Like,
something to
why?
do with the War of the Worlds thing that happened back in like the 1920s or whatever that was.
Dude,
right?
if there was if tomorrow morning they're like, yo, there's aliens, the people's brains would melt.
I don't think so, because you remember a while back when they were like, hey, y'all, there's aliens, and there's going to be like some shit revealed about it or whatever, and everyone's just like, okay, cool, next thing.
Yeah, because they didn't really say like,
Yeah, that's true. They keep saying they're going to talk. Maybe that's
Yeah.
it. Maybe once the actual fucking shit comes out, you're right. You're
right, and I
agree.
get, and I agree. I would have thought that this was all we needed, but when they come out standing next to ET, a lot of people aren't going to work tomorrow, man. That's gonna like affect things,
And that's why they don't tell people.
and that would destroy a lot of people's.
But again, it's
understanding
like,
of reality.
okay, Boy Who Cried Wolf. Let's go back to that. Government lying to us to get us to do what they want us to do, whether we want to do it or not, whether it's good for us or not, whatever. Just lie to us and keep lying until we do what you want. That's the government method. Wherein, if they were like, hey, y'all, there's aliens out there, I think initially people would be like, holy fuck, what the fuck? Oh my God, fuck. But then a month would go by and we'd be like, well, I still need to eat food. You know, like the kids still need to like learn how to do math and shit.
Yeah, but
And
if that
now,
comes out,
moreover, I am on board with whatever the government plan is, like whatever amount of tax they want to tax me. I'm cool because they're protecting us from those alien motherfuckers. Whatever fucking draconian laws they want to put in place, I'm cool with that because otherwise the aliens are going to come and get my son at night. You know?
okay. You think it has
But
the
since you
opposite?
lie to us and you keep lying to us, there's resistance from people, even though the majority of the sheep go along with the shepherd. And if they knew that there was wolves out there, the sheep would tremble and not make wool, figuratively speaking. There are a couple of us that are fucking sheepdogs out there that are, you know, waiting for a wolf. let's say.
Yeah.
What if in like a week you had several world leaders all take stages at once, yank off human skin masks, and reveal that they're actually aliens?
Kane and Kronos.
Exactly.
We're all
I
done.
voted for the other guy. Don't blame me.
We're all done.
I think that, I mean, that's probably, I'm not going to say that's what reality is, but I wouldn't say that that's far from reality, because I think that if there are aliens and they have been in contact with our leaders, and our leaders are lying to us about what they're doing, there's a pretty good chance that they're working together.
Well, to me, it would also make sense that you could easily replace someone if you had the technology.
What was that movie, the Stephen King movie? Where the people would get replaced? I don't remember.
Body
Gun Library
snatchers?
Garrett dropped in 5 and said, been buying too many firearms lately and the wife caught on. We own a couch now. With over a year with lawn chairs. So you're sitting on lawn chairs when you keep buying guns. He's like, motherfucker, buy a couch. That's hilarious.
That's why you got to have good hiding places.
Well, that's why there's that meme of a dude with a mattress, a TV, and an Xbox. And he was like, this is all you need. It's like, girls have a problem with this for some reason. Like, I don't really need anything else, you know? A place to sleep, something to entertain myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why I was talking, but my mic was on mute. Like, man, you assholes ignoring me?
Trying to.
All right.
I'm going to have to stealthily mute you again. No, I was kidding.
Well, here's a real question for you, though. Say that we did discover that there actually are, like, extraterrestrials among us. How long is it before a bunch of people are like, can we fuck them?
First day. Shit. I'm going to already say that as soon as they come.
First time the Marines show up. Just
Yeah.
saying. There's reason for everything.
I mean, I think there'd also be like a bunch of dudes like running around like cutting people's fingers open trying to see if they're aliens or not or whatever, you know? Like, is your blood red or is it green? Let's find out, boy. Or whatever it is, like, is your semen white or is it purple? That's the only way we can tell. Come for us, boy.
I mean, they would have to at least look fuckable first of all.
What if they all look like weird, but human enough? Would you still fuck them? It's like she's like tall and lanky, and like her cheekbones are giant and her eyes are too big, but she's got blonde hair and like okay titties.
I have to see it. I mean, I probably fucked worse. So
Yeah, I was gonna say.
as far
You
as
guys remember
humans,
the TV show Defiance, right? Where it was like a bunch of different alien races.
yeah,
It
I've
would
seen a
probably be
few
something like that,
episodes.
or it'd be like humanoids and stuff like that. Of like pure, it's like pure white or like pure red or something like that.
3 tits. Yes, 7 tits. Like a dog. Just
I'm
like
thinking like Mass
2
Effect.
layers of tits.
I mean, that's not a problem.
I offered the dude $1,000 and he said he'd take it. Should I buy it, boys? A lot of miles.
I mean, like, would you fuck the chick from Avatar?
Yes. Well, I mean, does she have a vagina? That was the thing.
I mean, she has a mouth, so.
I mean, I guess that is the bonus hole.
Yeah. But they do have that little tube thing that they connect the plants and animals with.
Yeah, does that connect to your penis? How does that work?
Yeah.
All right, what I'm going to do is go to the YouTube chat. I'm going to leave this to you guys.
Yeah, Damien, I'll
Start a
fuck
poll.
Gamora too.
What's that?
I said, Damien said he'll fuck Gamora. I was like, yeah, I'll fuck her too.
Should I buy the bike? All right, there it is, guys. Answer in the poll. What should I do? Tell me. I kind of want it. It's not exactly the bike I want, but it's $1,000, dude. It's not a ton of money. And it seems to be in okay shape, even though it's got some dings and dents and shit and a lot of miles. But I will know tomorrow if you guys say yes and I go there and check it out and it's not good. I'm still not buying it. It's not good.
How much are you willing to put in it once you get it? Also, should factor in.
A couple
Would you
$100.
put in another 1,000? Oh.
I mean, maybe a new gas tank. You know, maybe like I don't think it needs brakes. I don't think it shouldn't need anything mechanical. If it needs anything mechanical at all, I'm not buying it. Like if it's like, oh, there's an engine knock or like the brake line leaks or like you name it, dude. I'm like, no, I'm not having it. But if everything works fine and it shifts fine and you know nothing's wrong with it, then it's just okay. I need a new gas tank and maybe some new plastics. It's maybe $500, you know. And it would look brand fucking new after that. Put some new plastics and a new tank on it. Take that fucking Gibby bag off the back. Not too far from where I live.
You don't like the bike's balls on the back of it?
But yeah, Kelly Blue Book says it's worth $2,600. So, all right, what are you guys saying out there? How many votes we got?
30, up to 30 votes.
30 votes. 73% say yes. 27% say no. And see, Lucky says, I told you to offer him 1,000 and he'd take it. I did. He did. Put 1,000 down on a Rebel 1,100. That's not the kind of bike I want anyway. All right. Well, I'm ending the poll. The poll has spoken. 32 votes, 71% yes. All right, well, I'll let you guys know tomorrow how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
Whether I have a bike or not.
I look forward to hearing about it. Hope it goes well. I know you've been talking about it forever, man.
I know, and I kept saying, like, I'll buy a bike when it's the right price.
Yeah. Well, and at this price point, you can dump a little bit of money here and there, and then, you know, but still be in a safe place. I don't know. I'm excited for you.
What is this Daniel saying? Oh, the entire 4 inches. It's like you got 3 inches in, right? You're like, are you ready for this, bitch? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, 4th inch.
Horrible.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there such a thing as Atlantis? My 4-inch penis going in, and you get 3 inches in, and you're like, get ready for this. And you
Okay, right. The fuck?
Wasn't that funny?
But it took a minute for me to get like, wait, what is that about? No, I'm kind of slow.
What do you guys think? Was Atlantis a thing?
Yes.
Yeah. I could believe it.
Was it right here? Are we looking at it right now?
Possibly.
Because I would argue if this is not Atlantis and you find something else that's I don't know, like fucking civilization from the Ice Age and it's not here, that what you found is not Atlantis either. I mean, where does the Atlantic Ocean get its name from?
Exactly.
That's weird. Why would they call it that? I don't know. Not sure. put the 4-inch hurt on her Honda. Yep. There is something wrong with it. Don't buy, says All Thumbs. Well, I mean, again, if I show up tomorrow and there's anything wrong with it that I can tell, it's like leaking oil or like any number of things, dude.
Oh.
I don't, I'm not like locked into buying this thing. I've waited this long. I can wait longer. I can go look at it tomorrow for an hour and tell the dude no, It is what it is. What's going on in the world right now, man? Whoa, what's going on with Jamie Foxx? What the fuck?
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the chat.
What happened? Is this because of the skibbity jibbity?
Very possibly.
Have they even still gave out what happened to him? It was all saying that it was a stroke at first hand, but the family never released any of the medical information.
Well, they said he was paralyzed, and then there was like tweets from him saying like, "Nah, man, I'm all good." And then there was like a video of him at a fucking
boat.
Yeah, he was like waving at people or something. So I'm like, well, he must be fine. And now I see this, and I'm like, bro, like your hairline's changed, you're skinnier, by like significantly skinnier, you're lighter, paler skin. I don't know.
Or he could just be really sick, yeah.
Yeah.
They were saying in the chat it's probably not him.
It's the alien takeover.
Right, it's a replacement.
You know when they delivered the fucking Statue of Liberty, it wasn't green?
Yeah. It was like what? Copper?
Yeah, it was golden colored.
Yeah, golden color.
Yeah, it's all the oxidation.
Yep. Have you seen those videos with these girls like, ice cream?
Yeah. Yeah, the NPC trend going on.
Somebody did a good boomer versus zoomer thing on that. Where it's all the boomers hitting the slot machines at casinos.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
So you should put it in the chat.
It's
put it in the
Discord.
private chat. Okay.
Calhoun says, I think they named the ocean. Wait. I think they named the place. The place was named after the ocean. Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. What came first, Atlantis or the Atlantic Ocean?
The name Atlantic.
The idea of the Atlanteans were hyperborean Nordic supermen who originated in the northern Atlantic or even even far north. What the fuck? I don't think that Plato said that anywhere. That the Atlanteans were like supermen. Pretty sure he didn't say that, actually. Although I was going to read the whole Timaeus and whatever the fuck it's called. The Critias and Timaeus. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like reading for 5 hours in front of everybody, so we're going to not do that. I didn't realize how long it is. Yeah. Anyway. Anywho. That's Jamie Coyote. Ice cream. When I first saw this, it was a lizard person trying to look like human. Dude, it's like she's talking for the person in front of her. You see this? Yeah, that chick's not real. If she was on an airplane, I'd wear a tank top and scream that motherfucker's not real and get off. Snow White. Why is Snow White Mexican?
Jesus.
Why are 6 of the 7 dwarves women and dudes who are average size?
I didn't know any of this was a thing. Really? So they're turning Snow White into a European fairy tale, turned into a Disney movie in the 1930s, 40s, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, Snow White should be albino. Where's that representation at? I mean, skin as white as snow. Come on now.
I love watching these dudes work. Like whenever I feel like, God damn it, dude, I work too hard. This sucks.
Right. Then they take all that money, go spend it at the strip club.
Yeah, dude, these dudes are making like $150 an hour.
Yep. And they blow it all in one weekend. On hookers.
But honestly, they should make $150 an hour. Is it like, could you pay me like less than that to do this job? Like, fuck no.
Yeah.
And like they're all covered in like carcinogens all the fucking time. Like that's all like this mud and shit. Like oils everywhere. Like they're all dying of fucking cancer. Not all of them, but you know, a lot of them are gonna die of cancer early and shit like that because of this job.
Right.
Her skin was Snow White, says Brian Knight. Yeah, right. Whatever. All right, I take it back. This guy's not working that hard. I've seen dudes work way harder. Like with a cigarette in their mouth and everything. This guy sucks.
Right. It doesn't seem that hard at all.
Yeah, I could do that shit. Fuck you. OPEC productions cut have failed to push oil prices higher. What is this saying about global demand? So OPEC, traditionally, they cut 1% of their fucking production and gas prices jump. They just cut like a huge percentage of what they cut it in half basically. I think it was like not quite, but they cut a huge percentage of the oil that they're producing out of their exports as a like countries in mass, right? All agree to do this and start producing less oil. Should make the price of oil fucking skyrocket, or at least like jump up. And it hasn't at all. That means no one's using gas. That means people aren't going out. That means people don't have money. That means maybe the crash is closer than we thought. Or again, it's a controlled demolition. It was never a crash, right? It's, you know, planned obsolescence.
It's a slow flow, like an old man slipping into a bathtub full of warm water.
Elon Musk's cooperation and/or technical relationships with other countries
countries.
is worthy of being looked at. Whether
Oh, they're fucking going to they're going to arrest Elon Musk. They're going to take everything he's got.
or not he is doing anything inappropriate, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that the worst being looked at.
Oh, would someone rid me of this troublesome priest?
And that's all I'll say.
God damn it, dude. Wow.
Lucky you get that, because I could barely make out anything he said. Like, I wouldn't even know it was about Elon Musk.
Sound like we're seeing other countries too in that, so I don't know.
I hate when they do this and they make it look all like, oh, the ocean's on fire. Like, what do the colors mean?
Right.
So we're going from negative 6.2 degrees for like the lightest purple color to 5.8 degrees positive for the red. So you're looking at a difference of 10 degrees from the purple to the red. Looks really bad, but again, you gotta look at the scaling. Would you? I know Matt would.
I don't know. Is it a guy? I can never tell anymore.
Is
Is that what it is?
You see old Joe say he is AI the other day? No. What? Biden AI videos. Dude, he's totally like the grandpa who's so old that everyone just laughs at his jokes because he mustered up the fucking energy to say one, you know?
Jesus.
Anyway.
I mean, why is she going viral? The model?
I don't know. Who is that? Because she's bigger?
Oh, is that what it is?
Because she got
The
that
head.
going on? She got fupa? On October 1st, 2017, about 40 minutes before shots were fired in the Las Vegas shooting, a random woman was spotted warning the crowd that they were all about to die. I got around 17 people who asked me to expose the Las Vegas shooting every day. Some rules can't be broken. Do you remember that? I remember that. And there was video of right before, it was like 10 minutes before the shooting started. I don't know, I guess 40 minutes before the shooting started. There was a lady who got kicked out, and she was saying, "You are all going to get shot and die. You're all going to die." I remember it.
I remember that.
Here, listen to this chick.
And then somebody said something to you. Well, tell me about that experience. Yeah, there's a lady who moved the way forward in the front of the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all going to die. Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired? Or? It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired. But then she was escorted out by security. How does that make you feel? I mean, it makes me feel uncomfortable, especially coming here to something so close to you. Not knowing if I'm safe, not even knowing if I'm safe from going out of there. So, and how did you get out of the venue after this all happened?
Well, there you go. That's basically the thing is, and there's video of it too. I'm sure someone probably has it down here. Maybe not that. I don't know, dude. That's another weird one. Like the whole Stephen Paddock thing. Like everybody was like, "Oh, who's Stephen Paddock? Who's Stephen?" Never mind. I don't remember anybody by that name. Like, who are you talking about? Las Vegas shooting? What was that? I don't know anything about that because the media stopped talking about it, and I have the memory capacity of a goldfish, and therefore, since you stopped talking about it, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Anyway, anywhom. Oh, puppers. %97 of climate scientists agree that they don't want to be defunded.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, more APC. Oh, someone put the face filter on him. I seen the original.
The one's Biden.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of this blurry shit anymore, man. Anything that's blurry, I'm like, AI, fuck you. But that's still kind of freaky.
Right, yeah, give me something clear. But then, you know what? If it's clear, you probably say that's even more fake. Like, oh no, this video's too clear. They got to be fake.
Denver's okay. I don't know about the new mayor of Denver or whatever. I don't know what his politics are. I didn't pay attention to it specifically. The race for the Denver mayor. I know I didn't like the last mayor. I thought he was a piece of shit. But this new guy gets in office and day one declares an emergency on homelessness and is like doing everything he can to, like, I wouldn't say get rid of the homeless people, but like do something about it. And the streets of Denver have a lot of homeless people. Not quite as bad as LA, but it's not far off. This is LA, by the way.
Yep.
You know what's fucked up about LA though? Like all these guys, they come by twice a week. They give them Visa prepaid cards with like $250 so they can buy food. They give them a shower. They have like this mobile shower bus that comes by, and it has like stalls on all the sides, and they just park it on the side of the road, and like everyone takes a shower, and they move it up a block, and everyone takes a shower. The weather's fucking never too hot, never too cold. It barely ever rains. Like it's like if you're gonna be homeless, I feel like LA is the place to do it. I don't know why people are trying to be homeless in fucking like Denver, Colorado, or like Seattle, Washington, or like other places that it snows and sucks.
Yeah.
When you could just come here and then like they give you free money and free showers and like I don't know, like free health care and I don't know, dude. They fucking hook you up in LA.
Might put porta potties on the side.
I mean, like LA is a place that you either want to be really rich or really poor. Because like working your ass off and struggling to get by, and you gotta live in this shit.
Somebody from LA won that Powerball the other day for $1 billion.
Oh shit!
Single ticket winner.
Oh, that's what it is. So this lady wrote the speech that this chick is saying, and so she's mouthing it to herself. I thought she was mind controlling the black bitch. I don't know what the fuck I thought was going on, bro.
No, well, I was just thinking that, like,
yeah, that's supposed to be the staffer of Stacy Plackett. I think that's how I pronounce her name. She's a congresswoman from Virgin Islands, which why the fuck we even have Congress people from Virgin Islands to begin with is ridiculous.
But she does look like a psycho. I don't know.
Yeah, she looks like she's out of it for sure.
Like she's on Adderall. That's what it is.
Or some caffeine pills.
Yeah, she's like really, really tired. So she took a bunch of Adderall and then was like sitting behind her fucking representative, who she's the controller of, right? She's like the handler, like the FBI handler. When they have like a Al Qaeda member or whatever that they're handling, they'll have, the person come in and tell them what to say and how to say it and where to go and what to do. That's what she does. She's the fucking handler. Shaking her head like, you fucking dumb bitch.
Right. No way, you probably be like that too if you got to deal with a politician every day. And,
I probably would be. You're probably right. It'd be hard not to be, I bet.
Exactly. That's right, so I can't blame her.
Not if Fed dropped in a couple bucks and says, it's the mayor's final solution for the homeless. Is it the mayor's final solution for the homeless? Yes. First step is to identify them, and then to make them the other, and then to dehumanize them, and then to target them, and then to exterminate them, and then to deny it to the world until we can move to Argentina for the rest of our lives. That's the plan.
I was thinking if I ever get homeless, I would have to move south. Like, I'm not spending a Chicago winter in a fucking tent.
Bro, do you think there's giants in history?
No. I mean, like, why would that be something that we're trying to hide?
Look at that footprint.
Like, it would be in a museum somewhere.
It only has 4 toes. Unless there's like a pinky right here that you can't see. Oh yeah, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have a pinky. Okay. He doesn't have much of an arch though. Flat-footed.
And how much would a pair of Jordans cost him?
And you pull it out, your toes will lift up. A little mud.
It's true. Whoa, is that a penis?
Right. I was like, hey, what the fuck?
Hold on.
In evolution, there was a petrified finger that was found.
Oh, finger.
That
Oh, it's its fang?
was a biological.
Finger.
Oh, very much so. So they've scanned it. They can see the tendons and the bones, and it's very much organic finger bone with the fingernail as well. And if you would have,
Whoa, dude.
I'm about to say for a giant, I think that would still be a small penis. right, that'd be too small.
Well, I mean, depends on how big he is, right? If he's like 10 feet tall, bro,
Maybe, yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If he's like 50 feet tall,
No.
you might, I don't know. I don't know what you do about that. Get some pants, wear them all the time.
Nope, just just straight free. Right, you have to let it swing. You have to, everybody, like all the smaller humans, who the boss is.
Like, it wouldn't look that small if I wasn't so big. Trust me.
Right. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Danny dropped in 5 and says, part of me finds it hard to believe that came the closest to world dominance. Wait. That came the closest to world dominance could quietly retire in a third world backwood and never resurface. Well, I think the deal was any of the actual upper brass Nazis that pieced the fuck out, like the thousands of them that were gone, and some of them got hunted down and killed by Mossad. Mossad would send agents out, and because they would get word of like the butcher of whoever or the whatever person of this area or this fucking guy they found in this country. And they would send a fucking team of assassins. Dude, these stories are fucking cool. From Jerusalem to wherever the fuck these people are, and hunt them down and pretend to be like someone you're not and get a job at the place across the street. And then one day you come in and cap, and then fucking dead. Because they had to fucking, make sure that they had the right Nazi and all that stuff before they killed them. But they did that a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, a bunch of them made it to Argentina. And I think if you make it to Argentina and you start hearing stories of like, oh yeah, did you know that Sam got found out and they murdered him and his family in their living room? Maybe I wouldn't talk about my Nazi past either. I don't know.
Probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Have attached that to a human and done the analysis.
I want to see the bottom of it, dude. Like, where's the bone part?
Have attached that to a human and done the analysis, it would have been over 20 foot tall. Maybe we're talking Anunnaki or the offspring, the Nephilim, here on Earth. Maybe these Bible stories have more to tell us than we've given credit for. In the Hebrew Bible.
Blah, 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 blah. You guys think there was giants?
Yes.
No.
Elephant says thank you after the herd crosses. Oh, you did say thank you.
Right. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
What's the Caucasian way to say you got me fucked up? Newsflash, buddy.
Right. Newsflash, buddy.
Oh, bro, whatever they're paying this guy.
Now let us see women do that job.
Yeah, where's the? I mean, I know he's got that safety rope or whatever, but still, if you fall, what are you gonna do? Now you gotta climb up your safety rope in the snow
Jesus.
and hope it doesn't break. His hands are freezing.
Does it have the
Now
caption on
now
it?
he's got to detach so that he can attach around the next part. It's like right here. If he falls right now, dead.
Is that a ski line? Like one of those trolley
No, that's a
things?
power line, I think.
Is it?
Just not turned on right now or whatever. Bro! Duke, are you awake? Duke's definitely not awake right now. My pits are sweating watching that. I can't watch that anymore.
Yeah, you got to crawl on a power line? Jesus. In the dead of winter?
She waited to talk to him, but he didn't even look at her. Dude, Trump's badass. I like Trump. I still like Trump. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone calls me for liking him. I don't care what anyone thinks about anybody who likes Trump or whatever fucking people have been brainwashed into thinking, because it's just brainwashed thinking again. Like everybody who's like, oh, Trump's a racist or whatever. Yep, brainwashed thinking. You're not thinking for yourself. You have no original thought. You might as well be an NPC. You're not at the wheel.
Plane. Is it moving? It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
That's weird.
Glitches in the Matrix.
Gotta be fake.
Wow. The man who hunts child traffickers in real life. Oh, this is 30 minutes long. We can't watch that. Do you support Mel Gibson's plan to expose an elite pedophile ring operating at the heart of the Hollywood system?
Yes. Yep. Wasn't one of the two Corys was supposed to do that, but never did?
Corey Feldman did the documentary a couple years ago where he basically exposed Charlie Sheen, which we already kind of knew about. And the problem was he's holding on to a lot of stuff because he knows that's the last little bit of money he can make, and it's ridiculous.
Wait, so did he come out with it?
He half did, but then he like half-assed it because he wanted to make more money off of it. Is what it was.
Oh.
Instead of just
What did
exposing
Charlie
people.
Sheen do? I thought he just like was having sex with whores.
No, there's a lot of evidence that Charlie Sheen on one of the 1980s movies apparently raped Corey Haim.
Pete just doesn't seem to be working right there.
Oh, is it because it's cast in the shadow?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. Poster girl dress? It should look like an American Girl doll dress. You put it to your body.
Jesus. Really? That's what you put on that?
Yo, what it?
Wow.
Hmm.
Dude, Iraq veterans getting fucking ripped, man. Look at him. Good job, sir. Good job. Winner of $2.04 billion Powerball jackpot announced after technical glitch. Oh, can't show that on YouTube.
I'm quite sure that they was fighting over who had the best soccer team.
Oh my god. That poor kid, man. Bro, I can't watch that. Yeah, I should probably stop watching videos altogether before I get another strike. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking YouTube's like waiting for it, I bet. They're just like salivating, waiting for me to fucking show the wrong thing so they can press the button again. I got him.
Library David said that was Night Strike's blue dress. That was the hard one.
You said what?
That blue dress she had, that was Night Strike's.
Oh. The one that he said he never got?
Right.
Dude, he did a live stream the other day. I haven't seen him forever, dude. And so I like hopped in the live stream to be like, yo, Night Strike, what's up? You know, not like he didn't send me a link or anything. And I thought that he would after I jumped in there, and he did not. He's not about the Honda these days or something. It's okay.
Yeah, I said what's up to him, but his chat was about to end the other day.
We did pick on him quite a bit over the years,
Nah.
to be fair.
What? Pick on Night Strike? Nah.
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Did they show that giant crack in Africa on the Google Earth thing there or not?
The giant crack in Africa? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's that like 6 or 7 mile crack in some African continent right now. That goes like 20, 30 miles down or something crazy like that.
Do you know where at?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
kinda-
exactly
country?
sure. I just remember hearing it was an African continent.
I found it. It's right here. No, I have no idea.
Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it.
Yep. Pretty cool. Well, I'm running out of shit to talk about, so I think I might end the chat here. However, I did have fun talking about Atlantis and talking about the Richat structure and how it's definitely a volcano that got hit by an asteroid or something and not Atlantis. And yeah, man. We'll be back on Tuesday night for a little hot Tuesday action. Oh, wait. Daniel dropped in a couple bucks. Google Africa's bonus hole. It'll pop up. I thought you were serious for a second, then I was like, I read it. Never mind. X Adam 1 says, check my email. Hold on. If I could type, that would help. Switch accounts. X Adam 1, do you have a P.O. box for stuff and things? No, man, I ain't got no P.O. box, man. Not yet, anyway. Thinking about it. Haven't done it. It's the Great Rift Valley. Okay. We can look that up. Great Rift Valley. What is your Where's your crack, bro?
Shoot, all of it looks like crack.
Smoking crack. Somalia, that's a nice place, right?
Yeah,
Lots of good people come from there.
a lot of good old-fashioned pirates.
No thieves or like
With
robbers or rapists or anything. Nothing like that. Nope. Okay.
No. There's a lot of pirates with gyring boats with the Jolly Roger on it. Sailing the high seas. Looking for booty.
Looking for crack. Yahar.
Yeah, it's called the Swaza, SUSWA Rift in Kenya.
SUSWA Rift. That is not the same place. See, that looks like a fucking a meteor impact to me. Like, look at that. Circular. It's got a center uplift. Like, that's a fucking meteor strike, if I ever saw one. Not exactly circular, but after tens of thousands or however many years, it probably wouldn't be, would it?
Or an old volcano.
Yeah, maybe a volcano too, I guess. Yeah, that could be. I don't know, just the way it looks like it's all sunken in like that.
Right.
But then the center is uplifted. That's generally what they look like on Earth. Like, for instance, if I can find it, there's one up in like Winnipeg or something like that. Just gotta look for big circles. That.
Yeah.
They found one up in Greenland too. Can't remember. I thought it was right by the coast or something, but I don't know, man. I'd have to fucking have that pulled up already to find it anyway. And I was about to fucking end the chat before we started looking for evidence of extraterrestrial strikes from God. So we're going to go ahead and continue to end it here. But thank you for being here, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed the show. I do hope that we will see you again tomorrow night on the Guns and Geeks podcast on Never Enough Ammo's channel, even though he does not have time to show up here. I have time to show up there. So we will go ahead and see you there tomorrow night, boys and girls, and I hope you all have a great evening. Anybody on the panel got any last thoughts of wisdom?
Wisdom. No.
That's what I thought. All right. Peace out, everybody.